Welcome again, Virgo. Didichi Toth here from astrology.com.au with your September 2015 forecast. There's a lot of good karma going on for you now. I guess the average astrologer would wonder why I'm saying that, because we see in your 8th house, which is considered one of the worst positions in the horoscope, the transiting moon very near the south node in trine aspect to the 12th house Venus and Mars, with Venus retrograde. So the 8th house is a house of transformation. Moon is the ruler of your 11th house of gains. Venus is the ruler of your 9th house of past karma and good fortune. And Mars ruling that 8th house, being in the 12th house, is in a strange sort of way the cancellation of that negativity. So it's actually a good way to start the month. But I'll be saying to you, don't jump up and down yet. You'll probably have to wait till after the first week, maybe even the second week, till Venus, which is retrograde, moves into its forward motion. Venus is your planet of income. That planet being in the 12th house is not so good because it increases your expenses. And being in the retrogress state, that apparent reverse motion, means that your expenses would have increased throughout this period. I think we can see a change to that coming very, very shortly, especially now we've seen the sun transiting into your sun sign, having passed over the beneficial Jupiter. That's a great conjunction, and it brings with it some renewed self-confidence and some opportunities with it. That transit is now passed. We do see that there was an opposition to Neptune in your 7th house, so partnerships, marriage and that sort of thing may have dampened your positive vibes a little bit, but those two are passing. Jupiter is still in the opposition, so the Jupiter-Neptune opposition has a lot to do with one's values, one's spiritual ideals and that sort of thing. This can also be a strong spiritual period for you, with that strong 12th house activity, showing a passion for self-understanding, for charitable work. And that also, by the way, not a lot of people are aware of that charity is one of the sanctioned ways that the ancient astrologers suggested we could bring those planets, especially the negative ones, under some sort of control. So you can, in fact, do that. Your ruling planet, Mercury, is very much focused on money now. It's also in the 2nd house, having just passed over the transit and conjunction of the North Node, another karmic planet. And up until the 18th, you can really put a lot of your energy into thinking about and planning your financial strategies. Now, there's a retrogression or the retrograde movement on the 18th. Again, some Western style astrologers will disagree with me on the nature of that retrogression, saying that you should avoid any sort of business, any sort of contracts, that type of thing. I see this as a thoroughly good planet, and I think you can start to see an acceleration of your professional activities, professional communication. Doesn't mean you don't take the necessary precautions to do what you have to make sure you don't put a foot wrong, but I think the opportunities are there for you, especially towards the middle of the month, mainly from the 18th. Of course, there'll be some revision there over your professional activities, and you may be in two minds. Mercury in Libra can give you that flip-flop sort of attitude, and ruling your 10th house, which is Gemini, we see the duality of this planet. Its nature is duality. So although those opportunities will arise, you may be in two minds as to how to handle that. So the retrogression for you is, number one, opportunistic, but also a warning that you need to consider things carefully, because you may have too many decisions to make, and that can make life hard for you. The other really, really, really big transit is that one of Saturn. That, for the first time in around 2.5 years, is moving into your 4th house on the 18th, as well, on the same day that Mercury goes retrograde. The fourth house of your horoscope is primarily concerned with the early part of your life, the emotional inner state of your being, your real estate, your family, etc. So, Saturn is a planet of constriction. It is considered one of the karmic planets. It transits once every 29 or 30 years. So for those of you who are older than 30, then you can maybe go back in time and have a look at what this planet was doing in your fourth house at that time. Certainly this will impact upon your domestic sphere. What I've seen with this planet generally is that it constricts. This could be a space thing. Sometimes we can deal with that up to a certain point. But I feel that after this point in time, you may start to feel your style is being cramped, Virgo. You may need to make some fairly significant changes. You can look at real estate, maybe selling your current property. Now that's not something that will happen immediately, but those sort of feelings will come into play during this transit. Saturn has a mixed portfolio for those of you born under the sign of the Virgin. It rules your fifth house of speculation and the sixth house of debt. It co-rules the sixth house with the planet Uranus. And according to some systems of astrology, its stronger house is the sixth house of debt. So as a karmic planet, you may need to pay back here. Now, this is not always financial either. There may be some indebtedness or obligation that you have to members of your family now. Fourth house, which I forgot to mention, is primarily one's mother. We talked earlier about the good karma coming to you, but of course there are other aspects of karma. On the one hand, there could be good karma coming in from your professional and financial activities. On the other hand, there could be some payback necessary there in your domestic sphere. Giving back to those people who, in the first stage of your life, were there to help you, to give to you, to support you, to make it all right. You mustn't avoid those karmic obligations during this cycle. By sidestepping those karmic obligations, you detract from the really positive fruition of those events in your professional area. So you need to find balance here. And you need to make time to make good those karmic payback debts of this fourth house. The other transit on the 25th, Mars moving into your sun sign. That's what you need to be a little bit careful of, Virgo. It can make you feel a little overly confident. Also, over the next few weeks, make contact with Jupiter, which is the good luck planet I talked about. Mars and Jupiter are friends, but overall Mars particularly is quite inimical to your sun sign. It can, in fact, create physical problems. It can cause digestive disturbances. It can even give injuries or mishaps. So you need to slow the pace down. Don't be overly cocky or arrogant about what you're doing. It's best to maintain that low key that is the signature characteristic of Virgo. And that will ensure, keeping those mishaps to a minimum. It does, on the other hand, give you a strong sense of purpose, determination, and physical drive. But it can affect your nerves and, as I said, your digestive system. I did overlook the fact that, the new moon and full moon, this month the solar eclipse in Virgo, your sun sign, and then the full moon lunar eclipse on the 28th in Aries, very important. So we see this Mars transit into your sun sign following the new moon in Virgo. So this is really a time when you're contemplating how you can be your best, how you can change certain elements of your personality, and move forward in all these other departments that I'm talking about. The lunar eclipse in the 8th house is very revealing. The month finishes pretty much on the same note that it began on, that self-transformative note that we started the reading with. The interesting thing is that a lot of your business there is going to be finished soon. The South Node, what we call Ketu, spent the last 18 months here in this 8th house of your horoscope, is about to move into the sign of Pisces, which is your relationships. And that's going to be a double whammy because you've got Neptune there as well in that 7th house. So these are very strong spiritual connotations. The need to see an improvement in your partnerships. Those people have been dragging their feet. This is going to make interesting study for us over the coming few months, and I will be talking about that in the next month or so. So stay tuned here at this channel. In the meantime, till I see you next month for your October reading, join me at astrology.com.au, where you'll find the month of September in more detail textually, daily readings, and also the bigger picture yearly reading. We've got lots of free oracles and readings there, and you can always avail yourself of the live one-on-one consultations with myself or any other number of practitioners that we have through our affiliation. Look forward to your company soon. Take care. Bye-bye.